was sometime in the early 90s when a guy came up here and basically said, hey, you have all this land, why don't you put in a vineyard and I'll buy your grapes from you? And so that kind of got my dad to thinking. The wine industry was just starting to kind of take off here in western Colorado. In 1994, he sold all of the cows and put in the vineyard. And it takes a couple of years for the plants to get established before they actually start producing grapes. Once they did start producing grapes, my dad was like, well, I have a vineyard, I might as well see what kind of wine I can make. And so he bought a little book, basically how to make wine, what have you. It was pretty basic, but he just followed the steps and he took his finished product over to the amateur winemakers competition that occurs every year at our annual wine fest. And so the results from that yielded him a gold medal. And so it was pretty crazy, your first time at making wine with your own grapes, and that happened. So then he did it again the next year, entered some wine, and he took home another gold. After those medals, he actually worked to get the winery in place in 2000, and that's when we put in the tasting room and got our license to sell and everything like that. And it wasn't until that time that he started to experiment with red wines and oak barrels and stuff like that. We grow Riesling up here. It's one of the more winter hardy grapes. It's a white grape, and it just seems to have had some really good success. He's made quite a bit of a progression over the years and has hundreds of medals to his name now, which is pretty